It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading. I'm in the garage this morning, and I thought that I was going to give you a little bit of a update on the bees. I'll give you a bit of backstory. Last year, I went into the winter with 50 hives, and it was a bad year. I lost a lot, and I came out of the winter with about 7, which really dwindled to 5. And you know, that was demoralizing. Then you had these people talk and saying, oh, it's mites, you didn't check the mites. But nevertheless, I checked the mites that year, and they were spectacularly low. So it's not the mites. It wasn't the mites, and I had massive losses. It was a bad year. I think our average in Ontario, at least where I am, was like almost 50%, which is a bad year. Mine was way more than 50%. So that 50% is an average. So some had way more, some had way less. So nevertheless, I just bucked it up, even though it was so demoralizing, and I just worked through it. I worked real hard, and we made a bunch of splits, and I got to about like 37. And you know what? In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have made my last round of splits because it just didn't give enough time for them to make queens and go. So that last round of splits, that was almost not a write-off, but you know, it wasn't the best. So I went into this year with 37. So I'm on a downward trend right now, and I checked at about the beginning of March, middle of March, you know, and I had a good amount alive. I was feeling pretty good about it, and the winter was pretty good, and I thought, okay, this is great. And then winter decided to never leave, and it's the middle of April, a little past it, and it's still cold in the mornings. The snow just left here, and I went around and looked, and it's not good. This is another year that I had tons and tons of losses. I can't even imagine. I went and looked at a few, and it just seems like there's not very many alive. It is really, really demoralizing to lose that many bees 2 years in a row. And you know what? I am just going to keep on going. I am going to go into this year, and I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to make as many splits as I can. I'm going to be a little more conservative with them and let them build up really strong, and we're going to go from there. I am going to continue beekeeping until I run out of bees, most likely. And even then, probably I'll end up going and buy some more, I guess. But it's a tough go. It is. You can be a bee owner, but it's hard to be a beekeeper. I don't know exactly what is going wrong. I think moisture got some of them, what I can see. Long winter knocked out a bunch because of just running out of stores. But I don't think anyone really knows why the bees are having a hard go. Here in Ontario where I am, we have great summers. Like you have all this moisture and stuff starts growing, stuff starts blooming. The bees do great in the summer. There's no issue. But trying to keep them alive in the winter, that is tough. That is really tough. So we are going to continue on beekeeping here, and I'm going to go as hard as I can this year and try to build up my hive count again. You know what? 2 years in a row, maybe next year will be the good year. So we just keep going. I hadn't made videos consistently in the last little bit because I was coming off the maple syrup, and it was still pretty cold. I'm going to start on the bees next week. So I've been cleaning my garage up because I haven't cleaned my garage for a long time. And frankly, it's becoming an embarrassment. So I cleaned for quite a bit, but it's not clean yet for sure. I thought the videos were going to be a little boring, so I didn't want to just film me sweeping the floor or something like that. So I'm thinking next week I am going to come back with like a whole bunch more videos and get back on track with that. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing in my garage.
So this is what I've been doing. I've been trying to clean up my garage. It kind of got out of hand. And it's actually starting to look a bit better, even though there's stuff everywhere. Like there's chainsaws, I have to go through that. My goal is actually to get this box cutter up and running and wired. But I really got to get this cleaned. I have to get the garage cleaned first. I've been working on my uncle's 300 Bayou. So that is how it's going. I hope in the next couple days I'll get the rest of the garage clean and I can start wiring up the B-box joint cutter. So that's about enough for today. You guys have a good one.